What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be covering grading. The hows to's, how to start your, getting your value of your cards, kind of how to know when to grade them, maybe when to not. I'm no expert as I've only graded one card, but I've done a lot of research and I feel like, I was predicting that my Charizard would come back a 9 or a 10. And we did get the 10 on it. So I've got to be doing something right. I've been looking at these cards for a while now. I've been collecting for a while now. And I just kind of wanted to show you my process that I used before I kind of send it off. So for those of you guys who don't know, we'll talk about the grading process itself. So there are 4 subcategories that every grading company is going to use. Now, there are a few grading companies. Probably the top most widely known one is going to be PSA. They are based in California. So if you do choose to send them cards to there, just know that that's where they are. Depending on where you are in the country, I'm personally from Texas, and I did not want to send my cards all the way across the country. But, because they are, either FedEx or USPS, I'd rather just not send, my cards across the country. Plus, I want something a little closer. So that's why I chose Beckett. Beckett is local to me. They are in the Dallas area. So I chose to go to them. Plus, I think their sleeves, or their slabs are much better, in my opinion. They have the gold color label. PSAs are more so white with a red border. And then there is CGC. They are another company to use. They are probably by far the cheapest option, I think, to get cards graded. But their slabs, they don't have that wow factor, in my opinion. That's why I choose to go with Beckett. But anyways, so as far as grading goes, they are going to use these 4 subcategories. So they have centering, edges, corners, and surface. The centering is going to be how center the Pokemon or art is on the card, left and right, and up and down. So a way that you can check that, there's something you can buy on Amazon that I purchased. It's called the center tool. So you would line this up on your card, and it would kind of tell you along the borders, and I'll kind of demonstrate as best as I can for y'all. So I'll show you this one, and I'll let you compare. So if we look up, and I'm trying to get really close. So if we look at this edge and we look at this edge right here, to a naked eye, they look pretty spot on. Well, that's because they are. They did get a centering 10 grade for this card. That means that there's, on these points, they've scored 50 dashes of 50 dashes around the whole card of the, around the whole card. So these borders, the top border, which there really isn't one on these, but the bottom border, the edge borders are all the same thickness. Now, if we take a look at this card right here, so you can immediately see, if you guys look, this border right here is a lot thicker than this border. So this card is a really good card to get sent off to get graded. This is from the Evolution series, one of the best ones you can pull, Mega Charizard EX. But the centering on this one is probably going to get docked down to a 9, maybe even an 8.5. I'm not sure what kind of an 8.5 looks like compared to a 9, compared to a 9.5 on centering. But you can just tell that it's off. Obviously this side is thicker than the other. And if we hold this up to it, I'm going to get it straight out of the camera before I show it to you guys. But if you look, it might be hard to look, but if you line up this bottom corner, yeah, it's really hard to tell in the video. If you line up this bottom edge, yeah, I don't think you guys are going to be able to even see this, but I will try my best. Give me 1 second. Let me set this up. Up and down, looks pretty good. So you can see that the border's right here on the 3. So you have the card run across the border, and you can see that this is in the dash where this one's all the way to the 3. So you can see that it's off right there. And then the second thing that they'll talk about as far as grading, they're going to have edges, which is how crisp the edges are. And keep in mind, to this one. I thought this was going to get a black label 10, but it's only, that would indicate that I would get a 10 on edges. But I did not get that because of the reason that there was some defect on the edges. I'm not sure what those defects are, but they do look at these cards with a 7,000 times jeweler scope, so much more than the naked eye can see. So something is wrong with the edges. I'm not sure if it's back or front edge or what the case may be, but this looks like a pretty solid card to me. The corners is how crisp these corners are, making sure they're not, the card didn't get cut, you know, a lot, like, you know, straight down, or it's a perfect round corner how the card should be. And then as far as also no dings or chips on the corners. And then the surface is that there's no like surface scratches along these cards right here on the front or the back, no whitening spots as well. So as far as howing to grade a card, that's what you're gonna wanna look at. So centering is up, down, left, right, verifying borders. Edges, if you have any dings on the edges of your cards. Corners is similar to the edge rule, but just making sure they're crisp and round and they're all even with each other. And then the surface is making sure there's no like whitening spots or you know, different you know, different things on the card that could cause it to go down. Like there's no whitening spots on any of these. So now you kind of have to ask yourself, what cards do you spend the money on to grade? And the way you do that is you kind of just look up the values of what they're going for. Highly sought after cards like Charizards are definitely going to be probably a 1 to grade, especially if you think you have good centering on it. My next card to grade is going to be the Reshiram Charizard. I'm probably going to throw these 2 reverse rare Charizards in there as for my grading as well. These are from the Evolution S series. So these look pretty good. Now, if I wanted to take a look at these, so let's look at this one, for example. You can see that top border is much thicker than this bottom border. And it's much easier to see this on these yellow bordered cards. So let's take a look at this one. This one is also similar to the top border and bottom border being off, as well as the, you know, this is thicker than this side. So I don't think centering is going to get near what it did on this card over here. So I would bet that hopefully these can come back 9s. I'm skeptical. I don't know what 9s look like as far as, you know, centering, because I've never held one. Yeah, we'll move on to howing and knowing your value of your cards. So every one of these rainbow rares these are the secret rares, rainbow rares. These are the best cards that you can kind of get, the chase cards that everyone's after in every set. Now, some are more valuable than the other, and that's just also because of hype around the card. You know, this triple patch, turbo patch, it's a secret rare card. It's really good looking. It's gold. It's one of the gold ones, but it's really not a highly sought after card. Not everyone's out there looking to have a, you know, Beckett Black Label 10 turbo patch. We're looking to have the Black Label Charizards here, or the Black Label, you know, really Charizards here. You know, I don't have any like massively great rainbow rares. I think this Diadine is worth a good amount. I think I have her, she is valued at $10 raw. I think this one is probably one of these 2 are the most expensive rainbow rares that I have. I think Nessa right now is from the Vivid Voltage set. She's valued around $38. And Marnie, I believe, is $28. So either of these cards are good cards to get graded. You're welcome to grade any card you want, but you know, just keep in mind, the more valuable the card, the bigger profit you're going to gain, or if you want to sell it, you know, or just in the future, are those cards really going to be, you know, what everyone is looking for to have, you know, in slabs. So there's a couple ways that you can do valuing on your cards. Things that I use tgcplayer.com. You can pretty much type in any card. So if you want to type up this, you know, Team Yell Grunt, you'll go to and you'll type in Team Yell Grunt, and you'll type in like 210 out of 202. And we know this is the Sword and Shield set by this little symbol, Sword and Shield base set. You can type that in and it'll tell you the price. Looks like this one right now is valued at $6, just raw. If you were to grade it, it could be more. Another good way to value your cards is go to eBay. Now, eBay has a lot of ups and downs, being that it is an auction. So the best thing to do for eBay is to use your filters and look at completed and sold items, not the ones that are currently selling at the moment, but you want to see things that have already sold. And then, you filter by sold last. So you can say in the past few days what those cards have sold at, and you can kind of get a general idea of what they're going for. Then you can kind of start you can value your card if you're looking to sell them raw, or even sell them in slabs as well. So that's a good source to use, as well as there's another I think Pokeylector.com is another great option to use. They have a bunch of different sites on there that show like pricing, but that's how much you buy them for from third parties, not necessarily like personal sellers, but like third party companies. They have like Troll and Toad on there. They do have eBay. They have, I think, Amazon even. They have a few different, price points on there. But the way that I value them, I go by TGC Player and eBay strictly. I kind of do when I'm trying to, value my card, I look at both of them, take that middle average, and I put a number on it. The higher the value of these cards, the better, money you could get out of if you do a PSA 10. So like, in my opinion, even though this is a rainbow rare, let's see this one, 1250 turbo patch. I don't know how much turbo patch is 8. Team Yellgrunt, like this is a good card, right? It's a rainbow secret rare, but it's not everyone's going to be wanting this card. Some people will, but I personally probably wouldn't grade this one because it does cost a little money to do these gradings, especially if you want to get them back in time, or in a decent amount of time, I would say. Right now, Beckett is packed up behind as well as PSA is backed up and behind. So they're, normal 2 to 5 day services that you would pay so much. I think the 2 day service I think the 1 day service from PSA is somewhere upwards of $550 a card, which is absolutely outrageous. But if you want to do like the economy style, I think it goes down to like $30 or $40. I think maybe it's $50 for PSA. I've never graded through PSA, but I've looked at their price points. But right now, if you try to submit your card on economy, you're gonna get it back in maybe a year, to be completely honest. And then with Beckett, I think it's probably, I don't know if it's that long, but they do have a wait time. So you can always check their wait times on their website. It does tell you. So like, I know, like for my experience with Beckett, I did the 2 day premium, the premium grade, which is it says previously was the 2 day service level, but it was extended to possibly 5. So mine did not take that long. It only took 1 day. They got it and they graded it the next day and had it back in the mail to me. So I did use the premium service on this one card because I was very anxious to get it back, because it was my first card. On the second couple that I'm going to grade, I'm probably going to do a lower turnaround, so I can do a little more cards, and because it will cost less in the long run. So I'll run over this Beckett submission form for you guys. So basically what you're going to do, you can go to PSA, you can go to Beckett and go to their website, and you can download these forms, and you want to make sure that you're doing the gaming submission form. It'll give you a little submission number. You type your name, your account number. If you don't have an account number, they'll give you one the first time that you make an order. And then you just write your ship to, name, address, city, so on and so forth. And then you're going to have to pay for shipping on the way back. So you pay for shipping there and you pay for shipping back. So you can do priority overnight, 2 days, so on and so forth. You'll check these boxes. But this is where you're going to put in the name and of the card. So the gaming, I just put a checkbox there. The quantity you're going to do for this guy, if we were to fill this one out again, I would put 1. The year, you're going to do 2020 because that's when this card was made. And what set it's on. The set name is going to be Champion's Path, and you can see that right there. And the card number, you'll find that down here. It is 74 of 73. And you want to write the 074 out of 073 right there in the card number. So this one I would write 074. The card description is going to be the Charizard VMAX SCR for Secret Rare. And then the declared value, and that's when you kind of, this is, I did graded value. If I were to get this graded at 10, which it did come back, I put declared value of $1,000 because at the time, that's how much these were going for. And I still believe they are upwards of $1,000. I think the price is dropping a little bit. But I'm holding onto the slab and we'll see where it goes in the future. Because generally every Charizard does go up. So then you have your grading options. Let me read this really quick. Merit grade. So yeah, you'll want to check these boxes. So you'll see by checking this box, your cards will be given numeric grade if possible. And then by checking this box, your cards will only be authenticated. So there's two services. If you have a card that you think might be fake, I would encourage you to post it online rather than sending it in and get everyone's feedback. Or, you can do this check box. Like you have to get a grade like we got, or I got on this guy, is going to be the numeric grade. So I check this check box. And then your grading turnaround. So this is per card. So your premium is $125 a card. And if I don't want any subgrades on the card, it's $50 only. But the thing is, those subgrades are going to be your centering, edges, corners, and surface. If I would not have paid for the subgrade, like if I would have just selected the 50 per card, all it would be is this right here. All you'd have is a 10. You would have no idea what it is. And when you get up in these higher grades, a lot of people are going to want to know what those subgrades are. I chose to do it with this. And then, so these are your different levels. And like I said, go on their website to see what their current wait times are. But you can see right here, and if you do submit more than, 50 to 100 or 1 to 50, 51 to 99, and 100 plus cards per card, the price of these actually go down. Obviously, as you can see, where 1 to 50 is 35. If you get all the way to 100 cards, it's 25 a card. But then you're talking about $2,500 if you want subgrades on everything. So it can get very expensive. Check their promotion codes. They do have some running from time to time. I was able to use one on my card, the Thanksgiving special card. And then what you're going to do, you're pretty much going to total up, the number of cards you have. And then your grading fee per card, which you're going to get from here, you're going to multiply by line 1 and 2. For me, it was only, the 125 times the 1. So that would have been 125. The item, oversized item. This is not, the one card is not considered an oversized item. They're talking about probably like jumbo cards or magazines or something like that. Return insurance. So you can see the bottom of the table, which is, I believe, on the back. No, I don't have the back sheet. There is a table on here because this is a 2-pager, and it tells you like the declared value. So those $0 to $1,000 is going to be $12. So you pay for the insurance on it just in case something does happen to your card. Because heaven forbid, if it does get lost in the mail or gets broken or damaged, you want that insurance there so you can get the money back. Your return postage, which you will get from up here, also does have it will have the pricing on that return postage in the second page. And then you add, for Texas residents, you do add the 8.25 sales tax in there. You add it all up and it comes to a total. You fill out your payment options, your card number, expiration date, code, name, signature, or you can do a money order, they said. Do not send cash or a check even. So there's a couple ways you can do on a payment form, but then once you get it done, the way that I ship these, I just brought the card itself in a top loader, a Ultra Pro top loader. So these are plastic, hard plastic. And then I put this one's a plastic, regular sleeve. And then I put this in the top loader. And then I mashed that in between 2 pieces of cardboard. And then I sent it to Beckett that way. Like I said, I got it back. Obviously, there was no creases or nothing's wrong with it. It just so happened that my card didn't get the black label, which is completely fine. but the shipping process was taken care of. It protects your card. Just make sure that you protect your card when you ship it. So if you guys have any other questions about grading, about how to try and values for your cards, if you have a card that you need help, getting a value on, just let me know in the comments, and I will be more than happy to let you guys give you guys a estimate on that. As well as in one of my previous videos, I did mention that I am going to be giving away a couple code cards from previous openings that have not been shown. So really quick, I am going to show you these code cards, just in case anyone does want them. X and Y. Most of them are from X and Y. So just keep an eye out. Maybe go this way. It's a little easier. That way I don't bump my camera here. Few more. There's that one and that one. Everyone likes those free code cards. Hope you guys find something good. I am still trying to pull this in regular holo form. It has eluded me for so long. I do have one Kanto power box to open still. But yeah, please leave a like and a subscribe to my channel if you guys want to see, the latest content here. Pack openings. I do have a bunch of Shining Fates, the new set, pre-ordered, hoping to get that on the day of release, and I can do a sweet video and show you guys all about the new Shining Fates set. But until next time, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you later.